Senator. Senator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Chairman Phillips and the other members, thank you for being here today. Chairman Phillips, in your testimony, you mentioned that reliability is job number one. And the bipartisan infrastructure law that we passed includes $3 billion to expand smart technology that allows for the efficient use of existing transmission lines. It enables demand response. It improves grid reliability. Demand response technology can include smart thermostats or appliances that can save consumers money and also stabilize the electrical grid during times of peak energy demand. And additionally, the bipartisan infrastructure law contains a provision that I authored that directs the department to promote the installation of demand response technology in all federal buildings. And we've seen this technology work pretty well, especially in Arizona. 2020 was a regional heat wave that spanned 12 western states. It forced California to implement some rolling brownouts. And Arizona was only able to keep the lights on and the air conditionings running thanks to this demand response program. The utility was able to turn off the air conditioning in tens of thousands of homes, and it kept the grid from crashing. And this also benefited customers. I mean, in exchange for this voluntary participation in this program, they got a rebate or a discount. And Arizona utilities were then able to sell some excess energy to California at the same time. So what is the status of the implementation of the demand response provisions that were put into the bipartisan infrastructure law for federal buildings?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I want to applaud the work, your office and this committee for the Infrastructure Act. I believe that demand response, I agree with you, is a critically important tool, especially when we have reliability events on the grid. As you mentioned, California has recently used it. Many places in the West have used it. FERC has implemented Order Number 2222, which opens the market to distributed energy resources, including demand response. There's also a situation with opt-outs that it's not included in 2222, but in another order, 741, I believe, states have the option to opt out. We have a proceeding that's ongoing right now to address that opt-out situation.
They would be able to opt out from federal buildings?
No, sir. I'm speaking more general. Speaking more general.
Beyond what we have today then, so we have this as voluntary in, I think, upwards of about 30,000 homes in Arizona, and that's voluntary, and people get a credit or a rebate. And then when we add it in federal buildings, that provides a bigger response that we can implement in times when we need it. What do you think we should be doing beyond that with this technology?
I think first of all, to take a step back, many of the distributed energy resources that we talked about, they're behind the meter resources. Our state, regulators, they have a significant role as part of their jurisdiction. I agree with you. The cheapest megawatt is the one you don't use. And so this is something that I continue to support. I will open to discussions, and I look forward to working with your office to see what more we can do.
All right, and I'm going to quote you on that. The cheapest megawatt is the one we do not use.
That's right.
I'm going to hold on to that.
Thank you, Senator.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back.